Boredom. What am I going to do? Nothing to do. Ugh. Seems as if boredom has a sense of exhaustion to it, restlessness. But at its base, I think it can feel quite scary. Some can even view it as this indictment against themselves, somehow this reflection of an empty life. And so we might look to occupy ourselves with the next productivity tool, the next craft, next project, interest, whatever. Well, to put it more bluntly, though, we run from that feeling of boredom. But the trouble isn't the boredom, it's the running. Welcome to the Rhythms of Focus podcast for wandering minds who are tired of feeling that they have to force themselves to make things happen. Maybe know that when things line up well, that tendency to wander actually becomes a powerful wave of focus. I'm Dr. Kourosh Dini, fellow wandering mind. It wasn't that long ago that I struggled to make things happen, whether it was to remember when to pay a bill, do things over time, or look at a list without feeling repulsed. Fast forward through years of study and practice, I can now not only deal with the world, I can be creative, playful, and engage in the ways that make sense to me. I can be a doctor, musician, father, still play games in the evenings. I've created this podcast to share these ideas so you can do the same, hopefully with a lot less of the troubles I needed to go through to get here. Whether you have ADHD, deal with anxiety, or just suffer from a powerfully creative spirit, I invite you to join me in this weekly podcast to start finding your own way to a calmer, more intuitive space. Please note, I'm not functioning as your doctor, psychiatrist, psychoanalyst, therapist, or otherwise. This is here for education, if not entertainment, and I do hope you enjoy it. Whenever we dismiss, cut off any emotion, we cut something from ourselves. Sometimes we shame ourselves with the shoulds. I should be that person. I should have done more in my younger years. I should do the laundry. I shouldn't be bored. We use the should as the sort of knife. Any of these emotions can be painful, and so we distract ourselves. Sometimes we become overwhelmed, standing at the edge of some work, some field of knowledge, the gaping maw of some effectively infinite task list. Just start. Just start might be the admonition here. One I'm certainly not a fan of, especially as it can easily touch off more of the I don't wanna feelings. Running from boredom can sound like, well, I better act now and get rid of that feeling. The feeling is like it's pesky, something to push away as we dive into another activity, often fueled by and further fueling some sense of urgency. But if we pause, pay attention to it, allowing it to be neither indulging nor ignoring, we might acknowledge its power, its grip. Sometimes it's a small tinkle, but other times it's this existential dread, the sense that life itself is being wasted, and now we add on that we only have our shameful selves to blame, effectively compounding the problem. Some of those boring things, taxes, laundry, dishes, and the like, yet need doing. When we pause without running, we can hear that emotion as a signal, and less have it become our driver. When we pause, we might be able to consider, how can I find some life, some flow within whatever it is that might be boring? What tiny plant of play, perhaps, can I find in here and nourish? The answer, of course, is not obvious. Sometimes it's not even possible. But what we do start doing is we stop avoiding the things that are causing us boredom and troubles, and instead start recognizing that we can try to find life within them, and that itself is a practice. When I return to the piano on those days that I'm not feeling it, I'll still sit with it, breathe it in, feel the moment as it is, and maybe, just maybe, lightly brush a key with a gentle touch. And then maybe, just maybe, press a key. I'm not acting. I'm not faking it until I make it, a phrase that makes me otherwise nauseous. Instead, what I'm doing is I'm listening for the life within that note. Can I hear that? I'm not trying to defend against the space-time distortions of boredom and other strong emotions, but I'm trying to integrate it, sing through it, with it, form with it. I am where I am in the mush of the moment, and can I hear the beauty of that single sound and a single note in that mush? And if I can find that, itself not a simple task, but if I can, even if the entire session is about that, somehow something unlocks. Whatever comes next somehow rings more deeply. Whatever's left of that session, even if it's only for a few moments that I'm playing something, somehow it feels more engaging and powerful than had I spent hours pounding away at the keys. Next sessions, both at the piano and in other things in my life throughout the day, somehow carry a different confidence. This confidence that's born in the bravery of facing that stalwart foe of boredom. Once again, it is a challenge, but it's a worthy one. It's one that's rewarded not by some pot of gold at the end, but by a return to where work itself feels alive. If we can find that life, that play, that care, then we're also finding maybe the mastery and meaning in the moment. It's not solved in a day, and I don't have a hack for you, but I do have a suggestion. The wandering mind wanders, not least of all through avoiding and flaring and difficult emotions, but also we can guide it with practice, engaging emotions like boredom again. In this way, it becomes less driver and more messenger. The next time you might feel that wave of boredom approach, even envelop you, can you be with it? Can you be with it at a place that engages you in that boredom? Can you do so not to a degree that overwhelms you, but also not so little in such a way that you pretend it doesn't exist? Can you do so to whatever caring degree makes sense to you? And if so, what does it have to say? Maybe it says nothing beyond some vague feeling. But I wonder how you might experience making that next decision. What would your next session be like, whatever you decide? Might it not be richer than if you simply acted? Following piece is a mix of a couple of pieces called Heard and Alight, both of them in F minor. They're both, I suppose, relatively old, a couple decades old, but as with all of these pieces, they tend to evolve. I like the structure that's formed in these, that they still allow for a flow and a change from one performance to the next. Sometimes I repeat one thing more often and another thing less often, and I vary here or there, but still that structure is within it. Anyway, hope you enjoy this piece, this kind of meld between the two. Sometimes I'll think of these pieces as something of a garden, if you will. You know, one grows and another thing fades. Sometimes they combine, sometimes they become two. Anyway, this is called Heard and Alight. Before wrapping up here, I'd like to invite you to join my newsletter called The Weekly Wind Down, where I share more ideas about wandering minds and developing rhythms of focus. Head on over to rhythmsoffocus.com to sign up. It's free, and it's a great way to continue exploring these ideas between episodes.